Hello, everyone. I want to talk about the Lori Vallow Daybell trial and her subsequent interview after they found her guilty. I hope this isn't a spoiler alert for anyone who has been following this, but I have to say I'm not surprised, and I'm sure a majority of people are not either. I faced someone similar in a courtroom setting, and they twist a tale that is so unbelievable that they can try and they can actually convince other people that they are not guilty of the crimes they are convicted. It's not my fault. So and so did it. She said her daughter. And I don't want to go into too much. But I remember my situation. I was raped while serving in the United States Army. I was 19 years old. I was assaulted by um, a soldier who was serving alongside me in the same barracks. We were in 9th HHC 9th Cavalry Brigade at Fort Lewis, Washington. He did not live in the barracks because he had a girlfriend and also a son. They lived off post in their own apartment. And so the only time he was there was during work hours and when he had CQ, which is charge of quarters, because he was an E4 specialist and I was E1, E2, etc. And so fortunately, I never did serve CQ with him, but the CQs had the master key to the entire barracks, which meant he did enter my barracks room at least twice. When I told him to leave, he did. Subsequently, when he had me alone, the assault happened. And there was just certain things, if you're in this situation, that you will never, ever, ever forget. And so years later, within the past 6 years, I did locate him. Um, I reached out to him. He hung up when he realized it was me. I filed police reports. I reached out to his wife, his son, who was an infant or a baby in the apartment the night I was raped. And he went on to file a notice of harassment against me. He lived in Washington, I lived in Wisconsin, so I had to fly back to Washington State to face him in court, and I was a defendant against my assailant. It's just the way it was. It was 20 years, past 20 years. Washington State has stipulations that you have to file within 20 years in order to go to court, just have a trial, etc. And so, since it was over 20 years, he wasn't going to face time in prison again. Of course, he served time for a subsequent rape year after he committed a year after mine. And so I felt somewhat justified that he had spent, I think, approximately 9 years in prison. But when I faced him in court as the defendant, and the judge, or he was told that when I called, he had been informed by my family that if I was to call him, he should hang up because I'm crazy. So he went on to hang up. I tried to call him back numerous times, reached out to his family, and therefore here I am sitting in court. He claimed that he was afraid of me. He had to keep his blinds closed because of little old me and that I was going to come after him. Now, if you haven't caused anyone harm, you don't have to worry about keeping your shades closed or anyone retaliating against you or finding you or causing you harm. There's no reason for it. So, anyways, I heard all of the excuses. Oh, he can't sleep. He lost his position at the post. And so his life was turned upside down. And it wasn't like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He really thought my life been flipped, turned upside down. It wasn't like that. So he was not able to get a restraining order against me, but I heard all the stories and lies that 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 basically he was saying to the judge. He had just talked with my family, which he did. He got a hold of my oldest sister. They became BFFs or whatever, and was told that I was a nut job. I think for making videos for so long, I think it can be said that I am not a nut job, and my life is fairly quiet. So, anyways, if you are dealing with someone who is not true, who is not authentic, and who is not real, and doesn't blink an eye in harming other people, know that they will never, ever, ever, number one, tell the truth, and number two, you will never hear an apology from them because they don't believe they're wrong. So, anyways, I just wanted to talk about that. This whole trial is just a mess. I'm upset that we even have to go through another trial with her. This will be, I think, 4 life sentences that she will be serving time for. So she's never going to get out. But you know darn well there are men writing to her in prison. She'll marry someone else. She'll get them to send her money and cover her books and her commissary or whatever. She's just gross. So, anyways, when dealing with someone who's heinous, evil, and downright just immoral, and inhumane, and know that the only thing you can do is to somehow heal without getting an apology from them. And it's not easy. I can rest assured knowing he did serve, my assailant served time in prison, and I hope Lori Vallow's family understands. I hope that they can finally rest and start to heal. So, anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about, and I'll be back.